right, everybody. You know what time it is. The Real Talk Sports Show is coming up right now. Bam! Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the Minister Jonathan Simmons, and we thank God for you tuning in to us here on another Saturday morning. For those of you who are listening to us live on the legendary WIGO Pacesetter 1570 AM. Appreciate you for tuning in to join us here on the live broadcast. As you can see here, I am in the facilities of our title sponsor for high school football, Allen Vigil Ford and Lincoln. They have been our title sponsor over the last 5 years as we broadcast high school football on Friday nights. So thank God for him and thank God for being here. And that's actually my employer as well. We want to remind you, for those of you who watch us on UBTube, please subscribe, and subscribe. And I appreciate that because here's the good news. We have gotten an update from YouTube on where we stand as far as subscribers. Now, you guys know we've been really, I don't want to say straining, but we have been looking to try to move to the next level on subscribers. And you guys always hear me come on and say, please subscribe. Well, hey, I just want to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, that your support has paid off because breaking news, dun, 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 we now have we have a wonderful amount of now 1,024 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you so much for those of you who have tuned in to us and checked us out, especially those of you who have joined us via watching YouTube Shorts. Appreciate you so much for doing so. And like I said, again, it is a big boost to us. Also, want to give a big shout out to those of you in Clayton County and beyond. Those of you who have been watching our live football broadcast, thank you so much. And thank you for those of you in Rockdale County who joined us for the first time last week on Facebook, watching the broadcast. Loved your interaction. Appreciated the feedback and support. So again, a big shout out to all those of you who have supported our broadcast over the years, and especially those of you who have gotten us over the hump and got us to 1,024 subscribers and counting. We're looking forward to continue to grow. Our next milestone goal, my next milestone goal. I'm gonna say it. Well, let's go 1,500. That's our next milestone goal. We want to get to 1,500 subscribers, and also we want to get to that big number of 3,000 watched hours over the last calendar year. So you guys tune in, watch us, stay tuned, stick with us. And here's what I always ask for everybody: if you come on and we're doing something that you like, let us know. If you have ideas for the show, let us know. Here's the way you can do that. I'm gonna put it up here on the screen. You can shoot me an email, jsimmons@realtalksports.net, or you can text me 678-410-9833. And we love any kind of feedback that you guys might have for us. Well, it has been it's coming, guys. I mean, we're here. Football is here. We have what they call week 0 for football. I don't know what that means. I guess that means that basically, we didn't have a real full start, so to speak. So you have a couple of games that kick off before that time, and they call it week 0. Off to a great start. Also in high school football all around the country, we're now in week number 3. And yeah, man, it is football, football, and more football. That's what drives this train, especially down here in Georgia, where I'm located. It is one of the hotbeds for high school football recruiting, one of the hotbeds even for college as well. So, yeah, big shout out to everybody involved. Big shout out to the parents. I know so many of you have to take your kids around, slug them around on the weekends. We appreciate what you do, and we're very thankful for you, because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be able to do it. Well, high school football, let's see if we can get some scores up here. Just bear with me. We're going to go to our scoreboard first in our home area, which is Clayton County. We had a slate of games in Clayton County. Let's see if we can get that scoreboard up for us here so we can kind of take a look and tell you guys what has happened over the weekend in Clayton County high school sports. And also want to talk to you a little bit about a big game. We weren't able to get down there to see it due to the weather, but a big high school football game here in the South Metro area. Okay, let's go to our scoreboard for Clayton County. And there it is. Well, it's popped up on the screen in front of me. I'm trying to get out of the way here. There it is. There's our scoreboard. So let's go from bottom up. So first of all, North Clayton had a rough time, losing 42-8. Very, very difficult for North Clayton in their ball game. Also, we had another game that was tough for our teams. And excuse me, like I said, I just lost it there for a second there. Here we go. Another score. We had one of our favorite teams, Jonesboro. Jonesboro ended up getting knocked off. You can see they lost 53-15. They went down to Florida, and you know Florida, like Georgia and Texas and Cali, are big states for high school recruits. And the Atlantic High School ran Jonesboro out of the building, unfortunately, 53-15. Also in Clayton County, we had a cancellation. Trinity Christian was supposed to play Monroe. They did not. They canceled that game due to the weather. And we did have some good news, though. We did have a couple of wins here in Clayton County. Mount Zion, in a battle of two Clayton County teams, knocked off Riverdale 20-12. That's Mount Zion's first win of the season. And Forest Park gets their first win of the season against a brand new team to the county, Utopian Academy. They have now started playing football, and they lost to Forest Park 21-0. But the big news is, right over in Riverdale, Charles Drew High School has come out of the box blazing. They won last night 47-7, and that gives them a 3-0 start. And I think that's the best start that Drew has had in the last decade. So in Clayton County sports, a mixed bag. We had some first-time wins with Mount Zion and with Forest Park. Congratulations to both of those teams. And also big shout out to Drew, who won big 47-7 and started their season off 3-0 for, I believe, the first time in a decade. So the Charles Drew Titans are doing some work representing the upper echelon of Clayton County high school football. Now, we also had down the south side a huge matchup against two Titans. I guess I can call them Titans. Westlake High School, a team that is a legendary high school team, not just in Georgia, not just Southeast in the country. They have put out such players such as Cam Newton and Pac-Man Jones, and just a whole host of outstanding players who later went on to be stellar college and professional players, as guys I just mentioned. They were taking on a team that has rejuvenated their program from way up north. They were taking on the Gainesville Red Elephants. So the Westlake Lions hosting the Red Elephants out of Gainesville. Now, what's big about Gainesville is that Gainesville recently took on, a couple of years ago, the former head coach, I should say, from the Hoover, Alabama high school team. So let's break it down. For those of you who don't follow high school football, Hoover was one of the first teams that ESPN started showing as they were starting to do high school football coverage, some of the top teams around the nation. Hoover won, I believe, 6 state titles in 7 years, and their coach became a kind of a legend in that area. Well, Hoover came a couple of years ago in 2022 and actually set up here to play for the first out-of-state team to play in the Corky Kell Classic, which is a kind of the kickoff for high school football here in the Atlanta area. Well, Gainesville stole the coach away, and since he's been at Gainesville, a team that was under 500 before he got there has now transformed himself into one of the best teams in the state, getting to the state finals in 2022. I believe also to the state finals or semifinals last year, and they have started off this year at 3-0. Let's take a look here on social media. And Stepper says, "You're right, Stepper. Forest Park got their first win of the season, which is real big, 21 to nothing over Utopian. It's really great to see that. I know the Forest Park family has been struggling. This is a team that has a rich history here in Clayton County, but in the last I guess last 5 or 6 years, they've had some struggles trying to really field enough players to come on the team. So kudos to them for getting their first win last night. A shutout over Utopian Academy, as I mentioned, 21 to nothing. Getting back to Gainesville, the Gainesville Red Elephants have been now transforming themselves into one of the dominant teams in the state of Georgia. They have jumped out to a 3 wins and no losses. And last night they rolled into the south side. It takes them probably about an hour and 15-minute one-way drive. Came in with all the big buses and they demolished Westlake 41-7. They got up 21-7 at the half and then cruised with 20 more points in the second half. And yeah, it was all Gainesville all night as the Red Elephants make their mark in the state of Georgia, looking to try to win a state championship again. Red Elephants rolling out of Gainesville and knock off the Westlake Lions 41-7 in what was a huge contest here down South Metro. Matter of fact, the folks from Georgia Public Broadcasting were in the building. It was a tough game in terms of the weather. We had thunderstorms roll in. It was wet conditions, but the Red Elephants, they do what elephants do. They stomped those Lions. Again, final score, Gainesville 41, the Lions of Westlake 7. All right, guys, we're going to take a little early break here. Again, you're watching and listening to the Saturday Sports Update brought to you by the Real Talk Sports Show. And, of course, our title sponsor for high school football, Allen Vigil Ford in Lincoln. Keep it locked right here for more great sports talk in just a moment. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net. Hey sports fans, tune in for live high school football Friday, 7:30 p.m. on RealTalkSports.net. Check out your favorite Metro Atlanta teams as they do battle on the gridiron. It's your high school game of the week, live streaming free Friday nights on RealTalkSports.net. For more sports coverage and great sports talk, catch the Real Talk Sports Show Tuesdays, 8 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch. Brought to you by Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, a business giving back to their community. Give them a call at 678-364-3979 or check them out online at allenvigilford.net.
Looking for a vehicle? Come to Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We're a family-owned dealership that's been serving the Atlanta area for over 40 years, offering an unbeatable selection of new Fords, Lincolns, and pre-owned vehicles. Enjoy our exceptional customer service and great financing options tailored just for you. Visit us at 6790 Mount Zion Boulevard in Morrow, Georgia, located just 20 minutes from downtown Atlanta. Call us at 678-364-3979 or visit online at allenvigilford.net.
Everybody, we're back here. You're listening again and watching the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, Minister Jonathan Simmons. And again, we appreciate all those of you who have tuned in to watch us here and listen to us, of course, on the legendary WIGO Pacesetter 1570 on your dial. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and checking us out and being part of our sports broadcasting. Hey, we got two other huge events going on a national scale in terms of sports. Two sports that a lot of you guys may not keep up with, but we have the U.S. Open tennis tournament here going on in New York City. It's one of the biggest tournaments of the year. It is what they call a major tournament, along with the Wimbledon and along with the Australian Open and French Open. Those are the big four major tournaments in the world of tennis. And there's been some shockers. Number one player in the world, Carlos Alcaraz, is out. He has got knocked off. Djokovic, the gentleman that has the most Grand Slam titles of any player, is out. Got out yesterday, 23 double faults. So it has been upset city in the U.S. Open as the two top men's players in the world are out. So it should be very interesting to see what will happen here as we have a couple of unseeded players and lower ranked players that have advanced on in the men's tennis. In golf, the Tour Championship, it is the finale of golf. They call it the playoff finale, where the players will now determine who is the number one player in the world. And right now, as we are reaching the midway point here, Saturday is what they call moving day. We have the usual suspects that are near the top of the leaderboard. And it should be very, very interesting to see how this will all shake out. Now, of course, guys, you have to excuse my pronunciation because it's not as good as it should be. I'm working on it. But let's take a look here. Scotty Scheffler, the guy who is the number one player in the world, he has a 4-stroke lead at minus 21. Now, keep in mind this, the way it's set up here, the way the Tour Championship is set up, where they're scoring, do something a little different to kind of make sure that your top player has the best chance in winning the championship, because you certainly don't want to have a situation where guys played and been dominant all year long, and then because of one tournament is not able to win for the year. So Scotty Scheffler came in several strokes, kind of almost have a handicap in front. Again, he's at a minus 21, 4-stroke lead over Colin Morikawa. And then Xander Schauffele is right behind him with a minus 16, 1 stroke behind him. And then we have Sahar Theegala and Wyndham Clark rounding out the top 5. And Adam Scott, a guy who was many years ago thought to be the next big thing, Adam Scott, who has played extremely well in the Tour Championship before, he is right behind the leaders at minus 12. So again, number one player in the world, Scotty Scheffler, is ahead of all golfers. He came out fine at 65 and 66. And plus, like I mentioned, he also came into this with additional strokes. So he is a minus 21, 4 strokes ahead of Colin Morikawa, behind him at minus 17. Tour Championship, if you're in the Atlanta area and you haven't gone before, it's at the legendary East Lake Golf Course. You should go. Here's the thing, bring your kids with you. If kids are under 15, they get to go for free. It's a great event. You can get to see the golfers up close and personal, and it's a great way, if you are a golf fan, to be able to see the top players in the world in a way that you have not seen before. Again, the top 30 players in the world get to play in this Tour Championship, and they're right up close and personal at the East Lake Golf Course here, right in, literally, it's like minutes from downtown Atlanta. I mean, it's incredible. I guess you would call it, to some degree, gentrification, how this area where the golf course is, the area surrounding golf course used to be a really rough place. Highcombe District, just was a rough place to be in. But over the years, they brought the Tour Championship here. They've done massive renovation and gentrification, and now it is one of the most highly sought after areas of real estate in Metro Atlanta. Homes around the golf course, as you expect, running in excess of $1 million. Any property within 2 miles of that location is in excess of $750,000. I'm talking about for little weeny townhomes. Unbelievable. Like I said, great. But again, if you're in the area, great golf being played over there. If you get a chance to go take your kids. Like I said, kids under 15 get it absolutely free. The food and beverages are fairly reasonable considering you're going to a major event. So like I said, again, it is at the East Lake Golf Course in East Atlanta, literally about maybe 5 minutes from downtown Atlanta, 10 minutes from downtown Atlanta. So again, if you have a chance to go on down there, and it gets you a chance to see the top 30 players in the world up close and personal in a way that would be very difficult for you to do otherwise. And it's like I said, again, if you're a golf aficionado, it's great because you get an opportunity to kind of see these golfers, see their swing, see how they set up, and kind of see behind the scenes. Let's go to social media here. And we have LaTanya Porter. LaTanya Porter is a individual that has been on our live stream broadcast as far as watching when we do Forest Park, and we always make sure to get her comments up. For those of you who have never seen our broadcast, we do something a little different. We do what we call an interactive broadcast. So if you're watching the high school football game, we actually will bring your comments on the screen and interact with you while the game is going on. So if you want to shout out your favorite player, if you want to give some kudos to the school or the coach, you can do so. And Miss LaTanya Porter has been a proud supporter of the Forest Park Panthers. And I know she's excited because they got their very first win, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, winning 21-0 over a brand new school as far as their football program, Utopian Academy. a small charter school that has set up shop here in Clayton County. And like I said, it's their first football season. But Forest Park Panther boosters say we don't care. We got to win a shutout win attack. Like I said, 21-0. And we hope. Listen, guys, this is the thing. When we do these coverages, obviously for us as doing these broadcasts, we want to see good games. I mean, just be really real, because we're out there for like 3.5 hours. And the worst thing is that we had some games. Unfortunately, Forest Park was involved in several of them where, they would get beat like 20-0, 40-0, and it makes for a long evening. So we're excited that Forest Park is doing good. We hope Utopian Academy, because they're in a unique position where they actually can recruit. Most public schools can't do that. Charter schools can. So hopefully they'll be able to bring in some top quality talent to come in there and help boost that program. And really, I hope that all the programs around Clayton County will be able to do well. Also near us, like I said again, guys, we were down in South Metro Atlanta. For those of you who are not in our area, which means that we're literally probably about 25 to 30 minutes south of Atlanta itself. And sometimes these area schools don't get all the publicity and notoriety that schools further up in the north get. So our goal is to really help out the Southside schools and boost them in all of their sports endeavors and academics as well. So if you are in the Clayton County area, Henry County area, South Fulton, South DeKalb, give us a shout out. If you got an athlete that's doing some great stuff on the field and off the field too, especially, we want to really promote the scholar athlete, because with all the NIL monies and focus on, social media and all that kind of stuff, we want to make sure that we encourage young people to not only excel on the field, on the court, on the diamond, but also off the field as well. So again, if you have a great story, here's how to do it. Hit me up. It's real simple. Send me an email, jsimmons@realtalksports.net. Simply call or text me at 678-410-9833. And here's how it works. We bring you on the show. It's very much like Zoom. We're not in the studio like we used to since the pandemic. So we'll send you a link just like you do. A lot of you guys are working from home. Pop in like Zoom. Just make sure your hair is combed and you have light and somewhere we can see you, and turn your camera if you're using your cell phone horizontally. And voila, we'll have you on the air with us so you can talk to us about your son or daughter and what they're doing. Coaches, same thing. If you want to talk about your program, the platform is open to you. And again, big shout out to the local folks who are supporting our program. Like I said, first of all, big shout out to our title sponsor, Allen Vigil Ford in Lincoln, which, by the way, you can see I'm here right now because I'm an employee here. I'm the commercial account manager. So if you need a vehicle for yourself or for your family or business, give your boy a call, 678-410-9833, or better yet, call me on the office phone, 678-364-3979. Like I said, again, Allen Vigil Ford is a huge supporter of sports in our community. Like I said, he is our title sponsor for high school football at Terra Stadium, and also he is a big supporter of Ola High School. They have a big tent out there at Ola High School in McDonough, Georgia. It's in Henry County. And speaking of Ola, they pulled out a squeaker last night against another team that is legendary in the state of Georgia. ELCA, which stands for Eagles Landing Christian Academy, squared off against Ola, and they gave Ola all they could handle and then some, blanking Ola until 3 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. ELCA was ahead 3-0, but Ola was able to pull out a last-minute touchdown to win the game 7-3, and Ola now finds himself undefeated to start the season at 2-0. And Ola is another school we'll be featuring here because one of the star players on the team, his dad works for me right here at Allen Vigil Ford. So you guys will be hearing more about them. The young man's name is Cody Way, and his brother Corey Jr. Actually, both of them come on our youth spotlight. And one brother interviews the other brother and gives you great updates about what's going on at Ola High School. So again, if you guys want to have your high school featured, or if you have a young student or athlete or coach that's doing some great stuff in the community, boop, you know what to do. Hit us up. Like I said, we'd love to have you be a part of our show. Again, one more time, put up on the screen for those who are watching, and I'll repeat it for those of you who are listening on WIGO or whatever platform you're listening, because we do a podcast as well. Hit me up on the email, jsimmons@realtalksports.net. That's the letter J, SIMMONS, at realtalksports.net. Text me, 678-410-9833. Remember, follow us anywhere on social media at Real Talk Sports, the number 7. Real Talk Sports 7. That's everything. Facebook, Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on X. And then, our website is realtalksports.net. So we're all over social media, all over the internet. So you can find us. We got some great video clips of games that we've done. We recently did last week. Remember I talked to you early in the broadcast about Game 0 for college. One of those games was the MEAC SWAC Challenge. Now, again, for those of you that are uninitiated, the MEAC and the SWAC are two conferences in HBCU sports. HBCU stands for Historically Black Colleges and University. And it was fantastic to see that this game, played right here in Atlanta, ironically, was one of the featured game on ABC. That's right, prime time. First game of college football, the ABC telecast was a black college football game, and it did not disappoint. FAMU won a squeaker, 24-23 over Norfolk State. Norfolk State had the ability to tie the game, but went for the 2-point conversion for the win late in the game and did not get it. And FAMU held on to a 24-23 victory. And the Norfolk State head coach was asked, "Hey, why didn't you guys try to go for the tie?" He simply stated, "My boys were out of gas." The unbelievable contest. It went back and forth. And then, of course, the halftime show was not to be missed as the legendary FAMU Marching 100 squared off against Norfolk State. And it was good stuff, guys. Matter of fact, if you want to see some clips of that, you can go to my YouTube page. I got some YouTube shorts. You can go to my Instagram page. Again, that's Real Talk Sports, the number 7 on either one of them, and see that. So, yeah, a lot of great stuff going on. If you're in the Atlanta area, get out. Get out and take a look and see what's around. You got high school football, you got college football. Oh, lest I forget before I get off the air, big shout out to the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, who went across the pond over to Ireland and knocked off a top 10 ranked team, Florida State. Once again, I don't know what it is about Florida State and Georgia Tech, but Georgia Tech has upset Florida State on a couple of occasions, and it's usually late. We were right here about 7 or 8 years ago where Georgia Tech was well under 500. Florida State was a top 15 team, and Georgia Tech blocked the kick and ran it in with under a minute to play to win the game. And then, once again, over in Ireland, 21-21, Georgia Tech gets the ball late in the game, and with less than a minute to go, they kick a game-winning field goal to get the 24-21 victory. And now Georgia Tech they're on the come-up, guys. They're on the come up. This Georgia Tech team could be a team that we could see, if not this year, in the next couple of years, actually competing in the college football playoffs. And that would be big here. Georgia Tech, legendary team, won a national title back in 1990, was a good team from 2010 to around 2014-15 under Coach Johnson. Went to the Orange Bowl a couple of times, won some ACC championships. So the Jackets are stinging again, boys. Well, I cannot believe it. Our time has once again went because it's only half an hour. Appreciate all those of you who tuned in to watch us here on the Saturday Sports Update. Like I say again, you've been listening to us here on the legendary WIGO Pacesetter 1570 on podcast portals all around the world. And of course, many of you watching us right now on YouTube and on Facebook, either live or via the replay, whichever way. We appreciate you. One last thing before I go. I want to remind you people that I'm a real life minister. Well, that really has nothing to do with anything. What I really want to talk to you about really quickly is reminding you, if you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ, your personal Savior, if you don't have that relationship with God through him, please, what are you waiting for? Nobody loves you like Jesus, not your babe, not your boo, not your best friend. None of those people, because none of those people made you, none of those people loved you enough that they would die for you and rose from the dead. And what does that mean to you? That means simply, if you repent of your sins and believe in Jesus Christ, 2 great things happen. Number 1, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number 2, you become an adopted child of God with all the rights therein. That means that you can go to God like a heavenly parent, asking for anything that you need or desire, and according to his will, he'll give it to you. And when you die, you go to that happy, spectacular, beautiful place where there's no more death, no more dying, no more pain, no more sorrow, called heaven. And you avoid that nasty place called hell. Well, you know who's down there? The devil and all his demons and bad people from ever. I don't know about you, but I'd rather go to the happy place instead of the nasty place. All right, guys, until next time we get back together again, you know how we do it. We simply say God bless you and have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, whichever may apply. So long and take care.